Successful Minds with Patricia Baronowski-Schneider, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Successful Minds with Patricia Baronowski-Schneider is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Patricia Baronowski-Schneider.
Hello and welcome back to Successful Minds. I'm your host, Patty Baronowski-Schneider. Today I'm joined by Richard Eckley. He's the founder of Eckley Global Community School. He's a #1 best-selling author, a life coach, podcaster, speaker. He teaches about how to achieve a life-work balance through better health, wealth, and relationship and mindset. So thank you for joining us. Sorry, I'm just dealing with the flu. So thank you for joining us, Richard. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Oh, thank you, Patricia. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Sure.
Yes, lovely. So my name is Richard Eckley. So I'm an author and a podcaster, and I founded the Eckley Global Community School about 2 years ago now. And I just help people actually develop a better health, wealth, relationships, and mindset. Just because nowadays we're so busy trying to do things in life, we very rarely get the time to think about how can I actually help myself get better. So many times we look for outside circumstances to help us, but it's not until we actually start to look at ourselves personally, to take self-responsibility for our own lives. We can start to change our lives and improve our health, our wealth, our relationships, and our mindset, and move ourselves forward slowly, day by day, on a daily basis. So in the future, we're a much better version of ourselves than we are today. And that's also I help my students teach them the steps. First of all, to start off with, first of all, assess where you are on your journey of life, if you like. What is your health like? What is your wealth like? What's your relationship like? What's your mindset like? And how can you slowly improve them, moving them forward every day, so you're slowly better and better and better. Then in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're in a totally different place, you're a totally different person, because you're improving yourself, moving yourself forward.
No, it is true. I mean, so many people focus on the here and now. I have to get this on it. And it's kind of like, say, with my business, if I do marketing, I'm so busy marketing clients, I never have time to market myself. And it's the same with a parent, employee, whatever. You're doing everything for, all of your responsibilities, but you forget, what about me? You're the vessel. If you're not good, there's a problem. So yeah, good stuff. So now, what inspired you to create your 4 keys to a healthier, happier, well, let's see your website, your 4 keys to a healthier, happier you.co.uk.
Yeah, sure. Well, what happened was I was married for 20 years. And then the recession hit 2007, 2008. It was a bad recession. And unfortunately, we sort of lost everything. All the finances went, everything went. And it put a massive strain on my marriage as well. And unfortunately, I got divorced. My wife sort of moved away. So I was left then as a single dad with 3 children, 3 teenage kids. And I actually thought, I wanted to actually give my kids a guide so they'd know everything would be okay. And that led me to write in the book, Your 4 Keys to a Healthier, Happier You. It's a starting point for health, wealth, relationships, and mindset. So I wrote the book, got a copy there, there's books there, Your 4 Keys to a Healthy, Happier You. When I wrote the book, I actually got a good reviews with it, and other people wanted to read the book as well. So that sort of led me then to actually setting up the website and actually starting my school. I started doing my podcasting, and I actually wanted to dive further into the books, because I actually did a book writing course to help me learn how to write the book, first of all. They suggested I do one book first of all, and then deeper dive in books in the future. So after I'd done Your 4 Keys to a Healthier, Happier You, I then did Mastering Your Mindset, that one there. I then followed that with How to Master Your Health. And then last year was my best-selling book, How to Create Wealth. Nice. So that's all the books I've done. So it's like developing it once a year. I sort of try and write a book once a year on the particular things, so I can dive deeper into that particular subject and help people get a better understanding of, say, if you want to go into your health first of all. What are the key things you need to do? What's the exercise regime? What's your diet? What you're drinking? How you're sleeping? What stress levels you're at? And how you can actually take steps to improve them on your health. Again, with the wealth, what level are you at with your wealth? Are you actually in debt? Are you managing your debt? Are you creating wealth? What steps are you taking? Which way are you moving? Are you increasing your savings? Are you increasing your investments? Are you dropping down your debts? You're getting yourself in a good balance that way. And your relationships, you're putting time into your relationship. You're thinking, hang on, am I looking for my partner to give me something from the relationship? Or am I looking to put something into the relationship? It's often not until you give to a relationship, you'll get back. So it's actually, again, being self-responsible to think, okay, I want this relationship to work well. I want to give myself time to develop the best version of me for my partner. Right. It's not our job to make our partner happy. It's our job to make ourselves happy. And sometimes our partner might make us happier, but it's not their job to make us happy. It's down to us. Once you realize that in a relationship, you actually develop a stronger relationship because you're not relying on them to make you happy. You're making yourself happy and you're enjoying the relationship and improving it. And everything resorts back to mindset. Mindset is the key. It's the master to the whole kingdom. Once you get your mindset right, you can achieve any level you want to achieve in your life on every area. But it's always your mindset is your very first step. I always say we're a mind with a body, not a body with a mind. It's so vital to get your mind working right. And then you can move yourself any step you want to go to, any direction you want to go to. Because once your mindset's clicked, you know where you're going. And once again, self-responsibility is the biggest thing I always advocate. And it's getting your mind right first and then move you where you want to go. And that's what actually got me into developing the rest of the business as well.
Nice. I know I read the book and I was like, wow, it does make total sense because, I like the part where it said, it's like you hear that a lot, like negative attracts negative, if you just look at the world that, and I see this so many times with people like, oh, my life just sucks. Nothing ever works. And that just is this domino effect of that's just how your life's going to be. But, like I said, you could see a gloomy, rainy day, but that's going to bring beautiful flowers. There's just so much that you can look for, but you have to have the right mindset. So good stuff. I'm glad that you're teaching all that. I think it could give a nice little change of pace to the world we're living in right now.
Definitely. Yeah, we need some more positive, definitely.
Yes, for sure. Now, how does your 4 keys to a healthier, happier you help people live a longer, healthier, and happier life?
Yeah, there is. As I said before, if we get your health right, your health is really, as I said, mindset is important, but your health is the most important thing. If you've lost your health, you've lost everything because all your focus is literally, how can I get well again? How can I make myself better? So getting your health right is always the first step to give yourself a longer, healthier, happier life. And there's just simple steps you need to take. Is actually looking at your diet. What are you actually eating? So many people don't realize that it's actually how you actually create the cells in your body is the food you eat. Our bodies actually naturally regenerate all our cells every 6 to 9 months. We have all the new cells be regenerated. Well, our bodies can only use the ingredients we give it to make these cells. So if we're giving it perhaps high food takeaways, high fat, high sugars, it's only using these ingredients then to make the cells. So it's going to create poorer cells in our body. And over 10, 20 years of continually having these ingredients, our cells are going to get worse and worse. And we actually have a shorter life because they can't do such a good job. So as you start to get your green leafy veg, especially into your system, we're actually giving ourselves energy. We're converting, because plants convert the sun through photosynthesis into glucose. If we consume these vegetables and fruits, we're giving ourselves the glucose, the energy. Our body can then use that energy to create healthy cells, and we become a healthier person. So actually, as we get older, we actually become healthier and live a better, more active life because of what we're doing for ourselves. Again, the old basics of drinking water. It's a standard thing of drinking more water. It rehydrates the body. It makes your joints better, makes your movement better, makes your skin look younger. You feel better. You feel more alive. And that's just drinking basic water. Again, your stress levels. That's a massive. That's one of the biggest killers. Stress. It causes so many illnesses and disease. But stress is caused by how we think of a situation. It's not the situation that's causing it. It's how we think the situation is happening. Again, it's down to mindset. You can actually get control of stress levels. You're not going to solve problems because you're not worried so much about the problems because you realize what's the solution, first of all, to this problem. Can I actually affect the solution to this problem? Then I'll act on that. If I can't affect it, I'll let it go. And you'll learn to let stress pass you by. As I said, you can't stop all the problems. There's always problems coming along. We've got family, we've got friends, we've got relations, we've got things going on in the world. So there's going to be problems. But if you don't get stressed about the problem, you don't worry about the problem, you can just cope with things. You think, well, okay, I can sort that out. Move on to the next thing. And it just relaxes your whole body. Again, sleep is such a vital part to have with your health regime. You've got to get 8 hours of sleep. People don't realize that we're not just resting our bodies. It's a nighttime. Our bodies go to work, regenerating the cells, replenishing the cells. We've got REM and non-REM sleep. REM is rapid eye movement sleep, and non-REM is non-rapid eye movement sleep. The non-REM is the first stage. And that's when the blood flow goes through all the body, replenishing the organs, repairing any damage there is, any illness we have. Our body goes to work on repairing all that on the first part of the sleep. The second stage, the REM stage, actually goes to work on the brain. You think we've actually, all day long, we're receiving our 5 senses, all the information from our 5 senses. And our brain is going to sort out all this massive information we're receiving and work out what's important, what's backing up previous beliefs, what's new experiences, and store it and sort it out in our brain. Plus, it also needs to clean our brain as well, because during the day, our brains actually build up something called amyloid plaque, which builds up inside the brain. It's at night time this is washed away and clears it out. That's what helps prevent the cause of Alzheimer's in the future. Again, if we're not getting that 8 hours sleep, our brain can't do its work. It can't clear itself away. So sleep is actually another vital step. So it's these little steps we can all take that actually mean we're going to live a longer, healthier, happier life, because we're taking care of our bodies, and our bodies and mind are taking care of us. So it's true.
It's especially the older we get, I know so many people, they just don't get the sleep. I mean, it was different when you were 16, 17, you can go 2-3 days without sleep, but the older you get, you need it. And it is true with the brain, because you don't know, like, I know I actually went to a hypnotist because I was having trouble sleeping. And it was just things in my brain that I had no clue that I was even thinking about this. It was just like having these conversations. I was like, the stupidest little things that were keeping me awake. But it's like, you really have to get that sleep to get this stuff out, So, yeah, people don't 100%. Get it. So, yeah.
That's it, 100%. And get yourself a good nighttime, not regime, if you like, system. So every night you've got a similar system of relaxing your mind before you go to bed. So many people like watch TV, or they go on their computers or on their phones and literally switch off and try and go to sleep. Well, the brain is wired now. It's wide awake still. So you're not going to get to sleep. You've got to actually get yourself to calm down first of all. Perhaps read a book or go somewhere a bit quieter, a bit darker, turn the TV up, get some lights down, and actually relax before you try and go to sleep. So your body's ready to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, even if somebody doesn't, want to read, they have the audiobooks now. Just kind of relax, listen to it, get yourself relaxed. I mean, there's so many, everybody has an excuse, but there's always an answer for every excuse.
There is. It's very true. Self-responsibility, it always comes down to us. Everything, no matter what we're doing, it's down to us. And once we realize, okay, then this is down to me to sort myself out, we can make ourselves have the habits we want, and then we can get ourselves the sleep we need, regenerate the body we need, and the mind we need as well.
Right. Now, what are some of the practical tips for managing stress and maintaining mental well-being in a demanding professional environment?
Yeah, sure. So, as I said before, actually, the stress is caused by how we think of the situation. It's not the situation itself that's causing us. So when we should realize, okay, then what am I getting stressed about in the first place? Think about what's causing me stress. Is this something in my control? Am I worried about this because I've got to do something? Or is it someone else needs to do something and I'm worried they're not doing it? So first of all is actually realize that there are certain levels of stress which you think, hang on, is this me? Is this down to me? Am I getting stressed over something which I need to do? If there is, you need to take action. That's what so many people get stressed about, is they don't take action on the problem. They don't think, okay, then what is this problem? Let me first think of the solution to the problem. Let me act on that. And let me solve that problem. Right. They just think about it. They dwell on it. And the situation doesn't go away because they're just worrying about it. That's not solving the problem. So you're going to have a problem. You've got to think, right, what can I do to solve it? What steps can I take? How can I analyze it, break it down so it's in my control? Right. As I said, if it's not in your control, if it's someone else's control, let the person know that you're stressed about it, you're worried about this thing, but then pass it to them. If it's something they have to do, not you, you've got to pass it over to them and let it go. And not worry about it. You've got to realize you've got to let it go, as old Russell Paul used to be in the Frozen song. Let it go, let it go. Yeah. You've got to let it go. So many people, they drag their past situations, their bad things that have happened to them in the past. You can't change the past. Things that happened bad in the past to all of our lives, all of us, we go through. And if you're dragging that with you, you're not helping yourself at all. You're just reliving it, regenerating the same bad feelings. So you've got to realize the past is gone. You can use your past as a school. You think, okay, then that happened in my past. That was bad. But what can I do to change it so it doesn't happen again? What can I learn from that? If you use your past as a school, you'll then move yourself forward to where you want to be, not making the same mistakes. Life has a habit. Is if we keep doing the same things, we'll keep making the same mistakes. And life will keep chucking us back in doing the same lessons again and again. Right. Once we finally learn from that and think, okay, now I'm going to change my habits, change my actions. I'm not going to make that same mistake. Then we've learned and we can move forward to where we want to go. Right. And just realize that we live in such a negative world. As I said, the news is negative on your TV, on the newspapers, everywhere you see negativity. So we actually need to combat that by putting more positive in our own minds. The way you do that, I said, is reading good books, listening to audios, like you said. Good podcasts, anything that actually helps your mind get some positive in there. You're actually then fighting the negative that's always being fed. Our minds, as I said, we're taking the 5 senses all the time. And a lot of that is negative. It just feeds you permanently. And unless we sort of like get a bounce at the door of our mind saying, hang on, no, I'm not having any more negative today. I'm done with negative. I want to feed some positive in there. And we take the action to get some positive in there. We get a good book, we read it. Listen to a good audio, we listen to it. It's those sort of things that actually help combat the negativity. And that actually gives us a more positive mindset because we're actually counterbalancing all the negative we're getting all the time.
Right.
Once you start to feel more positive, then you actually start to change your life and you do things you wouldn't normally do. Because if you feel negative, your initial response is, I'm not doing that, I can't do that, I'm not doing it.
Right.
If you got more positive, you think, well, I'll give that a try and I'll see what happens. You're more open to experiences because you're not sort of not sort of scared or holding yourself back thinking, oh no, it's just going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. You start to think, well, if it goes right, that might go right. And you change your whole life around, change your situation around. So you're moving yourself where you want to go, not where you were.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to kind of look for that. Like, you know, I hate being around negative people because they kind of suck you into that and you get dragged down. So I try to keep an arm's distance and I surround myself with positive people. And like I said, I'm from New York, so we're in a city. You know, it's not. I actually belong to many photography groups on social media from around the world, and I see animals and flowers and just sceneries and stars and sunrise, sunset, all of this. So first thing I look at in the morning, the last thing I look at before I go to bed, and I'm like, I just sit there for like 20 minutes, like, wow, they're so pretty. You look for ways to find happiness and find positivity. I can have the crappiest day, but then I see these gorgeous photos and I'm like, oh, you know, just change my mindset like a whole 180. But you have to make the effort, you know, and a lot of people just get sucked into this black hole of negativity and they're just so used to that, and old habits die hard. So people who are like that their whole life, you know, eventually they're either going to have a sucky life and just die that way, or they're going to realize that I can change this. And, you know, working with you and putting you on that path to show them, like, look at what you like. I'm sure you have case studies and everything of showing how you can change your life. I mean, you're a prime case study, you know, I mean, you had your issues and you've overcome them and now you want to help people, you know, which is an awesome thing. And people have to realize it's, you know, the ball's in their court, you know, you can leave them there, but they have to make that decision.
Exactly. There is. You can't change someone else's mindset. You can show them the way.
Right.
If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. And you can sort of like keep on at them and say, look, this, you could do so much. But until they're ready, they're not. As I say, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Right. And it's only when someone's ready to change, then you can help them change. You can't make it. It's free will. Sometimes you think, I wish there wasn't free will. You could just look, you can change everything and go so well. But until they're ready for it, they're not going to do it. So you just want to be patient with people. Just keep showing them what you can do, how they can change their life. If they want to change their life, there's plenty of time. There's never a time limit. You can change your life when you're 17. You can change it when you're 97. Anytime you want to, you can change your life, change your mindset, and move things to where you want to go. Because you're improving your future. That's one thing. That's the biggest thing a positive mindset does. It improves your future. So it doesn't matter how old you are. If you can improve your future, you're thinking, I'm getting a better future. So I'm happier. So I'm moving to a better place. If you've got a negative mindset, you're always dwelling on the bad things, you're looking for the problems, and you're thinking the future's just going to be more of the same. It's going to be even more problems. So as you swap your mindset around to a positive mindset, you're not wearing rosy glasses, you're just thinking, the future's going to be good. So why would they not look forward to it? Because it's going to be good. And you're going to still have problems. You're going to face problems to overcome, but you'll get through them easier. You'll find a solution. You move to so much more better things on through. We'll just bring it on. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
I mean, I like how you say it's, you know, there's no age limit, because I actually did some videos recently just talking about like famous people, like KFC, the Colonel. He was like a failure repeatedly. He was, I think 70. He went with his like SSI check for like $100. And that's how he started KFC. Oprah Winfrey herself was fired repeatedly and got told you're not fit for TV. And she didn't just sit here and say, I'll never make it. She pushed through. I mean, you hear that all the time. There is no age limit. It doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, good. So now I know you deal with some women too. So how could professional women develop a growth mindset? And why is it important for achieving success and happiness in all aspects of their lives?
Certainly, yeah. The one thing most people seem to not get, it's fulfillment in life. You can sort of get all the money you want. You can get all the material things you want. You can sometimes get the sort of family going well, but it's fulfillment. So you feel, I know what my purpose in life is. I know what I'm doing. And once you find your own purpose, you're doing what you love to do. So that's a massive change in mindset. If you're just doing something for money, although you may have the nice things, it looks like a nice car, nice house, you've still got the fulfillment. You've not got the purpose of what you want to do in life. And your purpose is a weird thing, because it will find you. You won't find it. As I said, when I went through my divorce, I wasn't looking to write a book. I wasn't looking to do this. It just came to me, and I started doing it and followed down the path. I didn't go looking for it. It just came to me and I started doing it. And that's what will happen with your purpose. It'll find something that'll just click. You'll just feel natural at it. And at the moment, you may not even have a clue what that is. That could be happening next week, could happen 3 years' time. You don't know with life, it's weird. Right. But if you're always open to looking at seeing what situations are out there and what it is you can do to help people, what is your unique ability, unique skill? Everyone's got a unique ability. There's over 8 billion of us on this planet. And not two people are the same. You've all got different DNA, different experiences, different growing up, different parents. It's just like such unique abundance of people around. And there's certain people who are going to need help. There's always going to be a lot more people that need help than people helping them.
Right.
So what it is thinking, okay, how can I help someone? What path have I followed myself so far in my life? What have I learned so far? And who can I help that's coming along a few steps behind me? And I can help them improve their life by saying, look, I did that went wrong. Try this. Right. Once you start to help other people, you're actually taking the focus off yourself and you're helping other people. It's like Einstein said. They said, what's the reason of mankind? He said, the reason of mankind is to help other people. That's why we're here. That's where we get our fulfillment from. Right. You feel fulfillment. You've got your kids. You help your kids. You help them. You guide them. You feel fulfilled with it. Once they're adults and growing up, sometimes you think, well, okay, then I've got like an empty nest syndrome. What do I do now? Right. Well, you've got natural abilities you've been developing over the years. You can help other people move themselves forward as well to where they want to go. So as you take the focus off yourself to other people, as I said, there's 8 billion, so there's always going to be someone who's going to want your help. You sort of like you'll need to build your customer base or your client base or your people that are interested in you. You get your word out there, let people know what it is you do, and you'll attract the right people to you. There are people that won't want to know you, won't want nothing to do with you, and you think that's fine. I'm not there to serve them. I'm only there to serve the ones that want my help. They're looking for help that I can help them with moving forward. So once you actually start to think, I'm doing something I love to do, you're not really working because you're enjoying it. You do it for free because you just enjoy doing it. Right. Once you start to get your mindset going that way, as I said, you're unstoppable because the only thing that can stop you is you. And if you're loving what you're doing, you're going to continue to do it. It's like if you imagine a surfer going out surfing every day and then he starts teaching surfing, he's going to love his job because he loves surfing. Right. He's teaching surfing. Right. So it's once you find your core skill, your core ability, and it could be anything. It could be in health, could be in wealth, could be in beauty, could be in gardening, could be in cooking, whatever it is you love to do. And whatever you do is like as a hobby sometimes, you can actually find you're doing that because you're doing that for free because you love doing it. Right. Well, that could be your future business in time to come. Once you learn into it, you develop it, you study it, you delve really deep into it, you get all the knowledge you need, then you can become the best in that industry and help other people and attract them to you. And once you do that, as I said, you've just got an open possibility because there's so many people around. You can build them over time, take your time to develop your business, develop what it is you want, but get your mindset right. As I said, always, we're a mind with a body, not a body with a mind. Once your mind's right, you know where you want to do, you know what you want to do, and you just move incrementally every day, doing little bits towards it, moving yourself forward. So if it's your health, your wealth, your relationships, your mindset, whatever it is you want to do, realize that you're in control. Once you get control of your life, there is no stopping you. It's just literally how you think stops you. So just anything you want to do, you can move.
Right. And like you say, health, wealth, and all of that. I mean, if somebody says, oh, I'm just a complete mess, don't feel overwhelmed. Focus on one thing at a time. Maybe start with your health. Once you get yourself better, because you could have all the wealth, but it's like you say, if you're not healthy, that defeats the purpose. So start baby steps and, that's good. And having someone with experience guiding them, is really important because we always say, like with the world of coaches now, somebody read a book and all of a sudden they're a coach. Yeah, but do you have the skill set? Do you have the experience? Like speaking, like even just with education, half of the world's richest people don't have a college degree. It doesn't mean that you had to train and train. The experience speaks volumes. So you have the experience, which is really important. Yeah. So now what are the 4 key...
Life teaches us so many lessons.
Say that again.
I said, life teaches us so many lessons that the school can't.
Oh, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. Now, what are the 4 key areas that your business focuses on, and how can they work together to produce a healthier and happier life?
Yeah, as I said before, the 4 key areas, they're just everything. Literally, once you've got the 4 key areas covered, it's like an umbrella, if you like a 30,000-foot view. So many times people say, dive deep, get your niche, go really deep, which is good for certain things. But if you can take a 30,000-foot view, instead of your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your mindset, you can look down, you can evaluate where you are and see where you are, and you can see the direction you want to move in. It's a bit like sort of having a vision of where you want to be in the future. If you can see where you are now, and you can see where you want to go in your future with your health, your wealth, your relationships, or your mindset, you can see you're going to have to travel along a path. You're not yet that person that's got the things you want. And if you knew how to get the things you wanted, you'd already have them. So you're going to have to learn some new skills, some new traits, some new abilities. And it's best, as you said before, get a mentor, someone who's gone before you, can say, look, I wanted what things you've got. I did them again this way. I actually practiced every day doing this. I did this. I established this. I connected with this person. This person helped me. So we're always connected with other people. We're never doing anything by ourselves. It's always the amount of people we meet, we connect with, help moves us forward, and then we help move other people forward. So as I said, it's when you've got the four keys all thinking, okay, from a high viewpoint, I can see exactly where my health is. I can see which areas I need to work in. Perhaps I need to do some more exercise. Perhaps I need to change my diet slightly. I need to get me sleep right. I need to drink some more water. I need to get me intake of my stress levels down. Sorry, I need to get my stress levels down. Okay, that's my health a little bit. On my wealth bit, where am I financially? What bills have I got going out? I'm going to actually go into my accounts, check every single money that's going out, every step of it. What money I've got coming in, and how can I start to adjust my finances? How can I start to reduce some of the outgoings? How can I start to increase some of the increments? Can I start another business? Can I reduce something down? Can I get a promotion at work? Once you actually educate yourself and improve your own mindset, you'll actually get a natural progression up the wealth ladder, because you're actually becoming who you're meant to be. And you can't get the money where you are. It's not until you change and become someone better, then your money comes up, levels with you. Then you improve yourself, then your money comes up again. Then you improve yourself, and it comes up again. So that's how you increase your wealth, is by first improving yourself. Once again, in your relationship, what steps? I check my relationship from a 30,000 foot view. How is that? Am I giving my partner the time it needs? Are we building communication together? Are we doing things together, plus also doing things separately? So you've got our own interests, perhaps our own hobbies. We've also got things we do together. Are we planning little trips away? Are we doing little date nights? It's those sort of things you do. It's those little things you do. It's those incremental steps you do for a relationship, which helps make it stronger in the future. So you're moving forward. And your mindset, as I said before, it's getting that positive in there. It's thinking, okay, then, how can I improve it? What books am I going to read this year? What audios am I going to listen to? What business can I start? What hobbies can I start that actually help my mind, get my mind working correct? Once you actually give yourself a challenge, you actually become more excited, because you actually get your mind working. Once you just like plug onto the normal, so like coming on, watch TV and just sat there, you're actually switching your brain off. Your brain's not really working. It's just taking all this information in. Once you start to actually get a hobby, or you start your business, or start an interest you've got, you start to actually develop new neural connections, because you're getting more information going in, and your mind starts to think, how can I help this? How can I develop this? What can I do? And you actually liven up your brain. You'll see all the brain waves going well, all the connections building, because you're challenging your mind. You get it working. Once you get your mind working stronger and healthier, you're stronger and healthier. Because what I say, it's an amazing change around when your mind is working right. Just sending all the correct signals to your body. Our body sends out literal impulses to the whole body, and it then works out what bits are going wrong, then it sends the blood flow to that area to improve it. So if our mind's working right, it can operate properly. But if our mind's not working right, it's not going to send out the signals properly. It's not going to receive back the information. It's not going to know quite which areas it needs to work on. So it's all affected. So once you get your mind working right, you get the blood cells going right, your whole body working right, you're working right, you're at a 30,000 foot view, you can see which areas you need to work on, improve on, and then you can just move them all slowly forward. It's not a massive thing. That's what a lot of people do make a mistake of. Perhaps in their health, they think, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, so they go do this massive training. But it's incremental. It's just every day, perhaps going for that walk, having that drink of water, having that veg, cutting out that bit of cake or chocolate. And it's those little incremental wins that we do in each area of our lives, move the whole life forward in the right direction and improving ourselves. And as I said, 2-3 years down the road, our health's better, our wealth's better, our relationships are better, and our mindset's better, because of the little things we've done every day, moving us to where we want to be. And that just makes a massive difference in your whole life.
Yeah, sure. That's actually good steps. Now, what tips and advice do you have for people who are just starting out on their journey of improving their health, wealth, relationships, and mindset?
Yeah, everyone has to start somewhere. And that's it, no matter where you are, how old you are, you've all got to start somewhere. And the thing to first of all realize is like good news and bad news. The good news is we are self-creators. We've created the life we've got. The bad news is we've created the life we've got. It's down to us. Anyone else.
Can't blame somebody.
Over the last 5 years, our actions, our habits, our decisions has got us exactly where we are today. Our body shape, our bank balance shape, our relationship shape, and our mindset shape. Things have happened to us. but it's how we've reacted, decided to do, and the actions we've taken have got us exactly where we are today. So we can think, right, okay, then I've got myself where I am today, which means I can then change my life in the future by deciding what I want to do, how I want my life to be, and start actually making myself take the responsibility to do the things I need to do. To actually start to get healthy. I want to make myself stop going for that walk. Perhaps you think, okay, in 10 years' time, I want to still be here. I want to perhaps take my grandkids for a walk. I want to see more of the world. Give yourself reasons to want to extend your life by 10 years, and then think, well, I've got to start doing the things today to give myself the extra 10 years of life. I want my cells to be healthy and fit and good, so I'm getting better and stronger in the future. So the first step is think, okay, then what is my health habits like? What am I eating every day? Just think back last week. What did you eat last week? How much sort of like portions of veg did you have last week? How much water did you intake last week? How much sleep did you get last week? How much stress were you last week? What were you thinking about last week? So you can first of all just do a basic breakdown of the last week. What have you doing last week? And then think, okay, then, so this week, what can I change? A little step this week so I'm slightly better than I was last week. And that's all you've got to do. You've just got to be a slightly better version of yourself tomorrow than you were yesterday. So it's not like a massive thing. I'm going to suddenly cut out all my favorite foods and just run 100 miles.
Yeah.
It's a little step version. It's tomorrow I'm slightly better than I was yesterday. I just didn't eat that cake. So that's a step. That's an improvement.
Right.
I took the stairs instead of the lift. That's an improvement. It's I drank some more water instead of having a wine, or had some water with your wine. Right. Sometimes people are going to say, "Oh, I need new wine." Okay, then have your wine, but take some water with it, so you're actually getting some fluid in there, and then slowly reverse it over. You can still have all the old things you had before, possibly, but make slight variations. So you add in the healthy stuff as well as the bad stuff, and then slowly you reduce the bad stuff and increase the healthy stuff. It's always the small things we do that change our lifestyle. And actually, in the future, once you've done it for a while, you actually have the unhealthy stuff. You think, I don't like it so much anymore, because your taste buds change as well. Yeah. Once you start to give yourself the healthy stuff, you take the habits of eating it and taking it and drinking it, the taste buds change and you actually enjoy it. And then you feel the benefit. You feel healthier. And you're thinking, actually, I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling better. I don't want this so much anymore. Yeah. And you're creating better habits. And again, they said, similar with the wealth and relationships, just thinking, okay, then what can I do today that I didn't do last week that I'm going to do next week? And it's the small step. It's very small. It's just set yourself a little goal of this week I'm going to do this one single thing. Perhaps I'm going to just go for a walk for 10 minutes a day. That's it. Nothing major, nothing massive, just 10 minutes, the same time every day, and continue to do that. And then perhaps you extend it. Perhaps you do a bit of exercise. You perhaps do a bit of swimming or whatever sport you enjoy. You don't have to make it something, oh God, I've got to do this certain thing. It's something you enjoy doing as well. So it's an activity that gets your heart beating faster. It slightly warms you up. Perhaps you start to sweat a little bit. So you work on fast walk. And that's what it is. If you're breathing faster and your heart's going, your blood's flowing to all your organs, which means everything's getting extra blood, which means it's getting better and stronger and better because the blood's flowing. Our blood is like our life source. Once our blood flows to all our organs, and it's replenishing it, repairing it, and helping it work better. So that bit of exercise, as I said, if exercise was like a prescription from a doctor, that's like a miracle cure. Because that helps so much of our bodies because we're meant to be moving. But in today's world, we live sedentary lives. We're sort of on a computer sat down, you're sat in a car driving home, you're sat watching TV, and we can be spending perhaps 15, 20 hours a day sat down. Just sat down. It's crazy. So we've got to move ourselves. We've got to make ourselves move, walk a bit more, get our blood flowing, and get outside and get the fresh air, the oxygen in our cells, oxygenates the blood and makes you feel better. Deep breaths in, and just like it helps everything. It just helps everything.
You know, it's crazy. Like even with the youngsters nowadays, like we always joke about how we were kids, we stayed outside, like you literally went out in the day, you played in the dirt, you did all this stuff, you didn't come home till the lights went on. Now, kids are on the cell phones. Nobody leaves the house anymore. They have no idea how to communicate. They don't know how to play and get dirty. And when you say with the exercise to do something you like, I mean, that is important because you'll stick with it. Like when I went on this exercise kick, like first I tried the stairs. I really wasn't into it. I tried this, wasn't into it. The bicycle, wasn't into it. I love the treadmill. I save I take my movies, like my series. I'm good for an hour a day. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. And I take a break during the commercials. I catch my breath. So I'm good for 45 minutes every time I'm on it. But I love doing that. It's like my mental release, so finding something that you like, will keep you to it. And having, like I like how you had in the book too, where, they had these shows about like weight loss, where they had, I don't know, 60 days and they lost 50 pounds. But that doesn't last. I mean, people have, I like how you're doing it gradual. And it is true. If you just take a walk every day, take a 20-minute walk, eventually you start feeling good. And then that would, now you want to do more because you're seeing the results. And even with food, I think they said you have to eat, if you don't like something, I think they said it's 7 times you'll eventually get a taste for it. And I did the same thing. I'm a health food nut. Brown rice. The first time I ate, I was like, oh, this is nasty. I love it now. I wouldn't even touch fried rice. And I used to drink Diet Coke. And I drank that for a while. And I'm not a soda person anymore anyway. But after drinking that, now you give me a Coca-Cola, it just tastes like I'm drinking a can of sugar. You eventually, your taste buds change for the better. But again, you have to put in the effort and little steps. Good stuff. And I like how you have a checklist, so it helps people be accountable for what they're saying they're going to do.
Yeah, totally. There's help because we're written down in format as well. So just just double check it. Oh, crikey, I didn't know that today. So we just do it, tick it off, and it's done. It's just it's always the little thing. That's the thing. It's just remember, it's always the little things you do on a daily basis, just moving yourself slightly forward each time. Right. That makes the big results over the time, over the years. It's just who you're going to become in the future. It's just whoever you want to become.
And what is it? I think they said cigarette smokers that if you just decided to stop today, your lungs will repair themselves, but you can't wait until it's too late and then say, okay, now now the damage is done. It's been done, but you make that decision. You can reverse any damage that's been building just by taking that step. So, it's good to kind of, not that you want to give people the bad news, but be if you don't, obviously you could see it. If you don't do A, B, C, and D, you're going to be always working to the day you die and try to make ends meet. You might die sooner than you want because you're not healthy. There's just so much negativity, but you have the power to change it, so that's good stuff.
No, you do, totally.
Now, what does the free digital copy of Mastering Your Mindset include, and how can it help people achieve better health, wealth, relationships, and mindset?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Mastering Your Mindset. Yeah, that's the book there. It's going to be. Oh, two lights on. A bit dark in here. Sorry. Oh, bright lights. That's it. Yes. Yeah. So that was my second, but that just dives deeper in your mindset. Basically, goes back to where we all started from, how we evolved first of all, the humans up to who you became today, how we've actually evolved over the millions of years. Right. How we started off, how our bodies changed, how our hips realigned, how our whole bodies changed, how we evolved, and our mind actually grew and our brain grew into who we are today. So once you actually start to realize that we've been evolving over the last millions of years, and we're actually still evolving, we're still improving ourselves as we go forward. As you said before, this used to be called the industrial age when we started off. We're now in the psychological age. It's all about our mindset. You've got so much information. You've got information overload nowadays. So it's actually learning to actually use your mind to actually create the life you want and think, okay, then I've got to get my mind working right for me. And so this book is like a basic starter point to say, okay, then how's my mind thinking? What vision am I creating in my mind of who I want to be in the future? So that vision is just first of all, you've got your sight, which you see through normally, and you've got your insight, which is the vision of who you want to become. You've got to think in your mind, who do I want to become? How do I want to be? What health do I want? What wealth do I want? What relationship do I want? What mindset do I want? And it's your mindset first of all. So it's picturing the ideal version of you and how you're going to move yourself towards it and what you're going to do to change yourself. As I said before, your current knowledge, your current mindset has got you exactly where you are today. So if you want a better version of yourself in the future, you're going to have to learn to change your mind. You're going to have to get some more positive in there, learn some more techniques, some more systems, create some more habits, create some different things you need to do to change you. It's not until you actually change does your life change. Mm-hmm. As Einstein says, do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. It's the first sign of madness. Mm-hmm. You've got to change your habits. You've got to change your decisions. You've got to change the things you're doing to change yourself and then move your mindset forward. As I said, you can go into depth. There's all similar book with the book there. It's got cartoons inside as well. So it goes through different cartoons. It's a nice, easy read. It's like a 35 minute read. Mm-hmm. And it just gives you information of your mindset of how you can control it. Don't put things off. So many people as well, they sort of think I'm going to do this one day. One day I get round to that. And then time goes by, a year goes by, 2 years go, 10 years go by, and they still haven't done nothing. So if you want to write the book, get on and start writing your book. If you want to start a new hobby, start that hobby, get on and do it. Don't put it off. They say that yesterday is gone. There's nothing you can do about yesterday. It's gone. Tomorrow never comes. It's like it's always in the future. So we only ever have today. Just realizing, right, what am I going to do today? It's today. I've got to do it. It's no good It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow. It is today. So you stay realizing, okay, then it's down to me to get my mindset working right. And what little action can I take today to change things from yesterday and improve them for tomorrow? And that's what you need to do. So I said, yeah, you can get in contact with me at Eckley Global Community Stores. That's EGCS24@yahoo.com. And they can send you then, it'd be a digital copy of the Master Your Mindset. And they can have a read through that and just see how they want to improve themselves and get them on the first step to getting their mindset set right. Getting the positivity in there and realizing, okay, then I've built my mind over the last years. It's the first sort of 7 or 8 years where actually our mindset is set by the people we grew up with, our environment, our guardian, our parents. They programmed us first of all. And then it's the peers and all the information we've been feeding our mind up to the age we are today. So we're still feeding our mind. We're still developing it. So once you actually start to change the things you're giving your mind to read, you actually change it from a negative to a positive, and you actually start to change your subconscious. As I said before, there's a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is everything you know about today. It's everything you feel, you know, all the stuff you're taking in. Your subconscious is like a massive filing cabinet, store cabinet of every single thing that's happened in your life. When you want to make a decision, your conscious mind actually delves into your subconscious mind and pulls a file out from there of what experience you had similar before. And it then decides whether you're going to do that again or not. If it was a bad experience, you say, well, I'm going to do that again. That's a bad experience. If it was a good experience, you'll say, well, yeah, we'll do that again. You might try it again. So the more positive experiences you're feeding your subconscious, the more things you're likely to try in the future because you've got a positive thing to focus back on, not a negative one. So it's just, yeah, think of that way.
It is true. And it's funny how you say with the subconscious, with the file, because they taught us that in school, like everything you've seen, you've read, you might not even think of, but it's in there. And it'll, you know, your body and your mind, it'll just pull out a file cabinet, whatever it thinks is necessary at that time. And, you know, I remember I was answering something one time and I was like, where on earth did that even come from? It could have been an article I read. It's just in there, you know, it's just amazing. So yeah, you know, it's overload, but sometimes you have to continually like shuffle the deck a little bit and make it better stuff to come out.
Definitely. And I said, our mind is funny. It's like a lawyer. I heard a great saying. It doesn't matter if you want negative, it'll get all the negative to back up that thought you have. Right. If you want something positive, it'll bring out everything positive you have. So it doesn't care. It'll just bring out whatever it is you're focusing on. Right. So if you're focusing on negative, it'll give you 100 reasons why that thing you're thinking about is a negative thing. Right. If you want something positive, they'll give you 100 reasons why it's a positive thing. So it's what you're thinking about. It brings forward. So getting control of your own mind is a tricky thing in itself.
Right. No, that is true. So now tell us, what book are you working on now?
Yeah, my last book is, because I said there's the 4 keys to a healthy, happy was the first one. So the 4 keys were health, wealth, relationships, and mindset. So I'm now doing the relationship one, how to develop better relationships. And it's what I love writing my books is all the research I do on the different areas before I write my book. So we spent the last 12 months now doing research on relationships. Right. And one of the biggest things I find is actually that our hormones affect us so much. We don't realize quite how our hormones affect every single decision we make. And I said before that it was actually, men are sort of made up of mainly testosterone with some estrogen, and women are mainly estrogen with some testosterone. But since the Second World War, society and what has happened is actually changing our hormone release. So actually women are now getting more testosterone, still got more estrogen, but their testosterone levels have gone up. And men's estrogen levels have gone up, their testosterone levels have gone down. So we're actually changing roles, which is an amazing thing when you think about it. So it's amazing how society has changed. As I said before the Second World War, mainly men were sort of going to work and women were bringing up all the kids. When the Second World War came along, all the men went off to work and all the women had to go out and do all the work as well. And then they started actually not only doing all the work, but they're still doing all the homework as well, all the care, bringing up the kids and doing all the work. Right. So this gave them great independence, which was great. But that was the thing that actually triggered more testosterone in them. It actually became more masculine mind, if you like. Right. Then when the men came back from war, they were changed by the horror of war, obviously the traumatic of war. They were changed in themselves. And they learned to actually just bury their feelings inside, bury that, try and blank away all the memories they'd just been through of all the stuff they'd gone through. But that actually not only blanked their memories, it blanked their feelings. So then the saying then was, be a man, just don't show any feelings, be a man. And they were actually teaching their children to be that same thing as don't show your feelings, be a man. And that was their saying. And then now you sort of reverse the role and we're saying, okay, then now you've got to show your feminine side. Be in touch with your feminine side. So men are trying to do that way. Right. And men are getting confused because they don't quite know what they're meant to be doing.
I know, because it goes against everything you were brought up thinking.
That does, yeah. And women become more testosterone, so they're more masculine thinking. And they're then thinking, well, I can cope with everything. I don't really need a man anymore because I can earn me money. I can bring at the kids. I don't really need the man.
Right.
But then there is a void of realize, because then it's the fulfillment side of thinking, I may not need a man, but I want a man. So it's then thinking, okay, then I do need a relationship, but I want a fulfilling relationship, not one that's not fulfilling. So instead it's realizing, okay, you need to actually look for the traits in the partner you want. Actually, first of all, work on yourself to make sure you've got good traits, you've got a good personality. Because people will fall in love with the personality. They often fall in love with the physical look of someone, but it's not till the personality they actually fall in love with that person. And you can actually improve your personality by the certain traits you want to develop in yourself. Right. Once you think about the partner you want, if you haven't got a partner yet, you can make a list of these traits that you want in your ideal partner. Then your actual subconscious goes to work looking for people with these traits, and they'll actually not attract them to you, but you'll notice them more. And then you'll think, oh, hang on, that person's got the similar trait I want. And then you actually find someone who's more compatible with you. Because the old method of sort of going on a date and seeing how you get on, and then about a year later, you think, this just isn't working.
Right.
It's because you're total strangers.
It's like having a pen pal.
Yeah. So if you make a list of the ideal traits you'd like in your ideal partner,
right,
you're then on to it because you know what you're looking for. So if someone perhaps who's got the similar interests to you or similar back to you. But sometimes we actually attract opposite as well. Because sometimes we may be quite academic minds. We want someone who's sporty. Or we might be sporty, we want someone sporty. So it's literally down to us. And with 8 billion of us on the planet, everyone being different, it's a minefield.
Right. No, that's all good though. It's true though.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing just how there's with the relationship, just how, yeah. But the biggest thing we can work on, as always, is ourselves. Once we work on ourselves and get ourselves right, we can then actually start to offer our partner what they need, but we're actually making ourselves better. So our partner appreciates us more, we appreciate our partner more, and then we have ourselves both move forward and get better as we go forward in the future. Just like it's just wonderful when you've got someone you love and they love you back and you just feel connected. And it's just those little things, again, those little things on the day just happen, your relationship to develop bigger. So I'm planning to get it published in June, July is when I'm planning to get it published. So that'll be coming out then, how to develop better relationships.
Nice. I mean, that is good because I know some people who just, they just have horrible relationships, one after the other. And, taking a step back and saying, okay, well, first of all, work on yourself because you're obviously looking for all the bad apples, apparently, even though you don't think you are. So once they feel better about themselves, they might have better standards of what they're looking for. And it's a process like everything. So good stuff. So anything else you want to add or what you're working on or what you're doing or how you help people?
Yes, at the Eckley Global Community School, so we're always helping them in 5 different countries at the moment, and we're always taking on those sort of new students, helping them develop which area they want to go into. The first step we do is actually get them to actually write their own ebook, first of all. We find out what passion it is they've got. We have them find that passion they've got. We actually help you write an ebook on that subject, put it on Amazon. So you've then got your own book on Amazon, and you've actually then taken the time to study what it is you want to know and get it out there. So then you can say, actually, I've written a book on this. And that gives you self-confidence when you've written your first book. It gives you self-confidence. A lot of people haven't got a clue how you even start the process. Right. So actually, the first lesson we teach us, is actually how to write your first ebook, how to get onto Amazon, and then you can go which area you want to go with, which area you want to improve in your life. You can move that way. So I said the contact is the Eckley Global Community Schools. That's EGCS24@yahoo.com. You can get in touch with me as well at I won't give you personal ones. No, I'll stick with that one. That's my stick with the business one.
Okay, cool. And it is true, like doing an ebook, because a lot of times talking is one thing, but putting your heart and soul on paper is a lot easier. So they're going to put down on paper probably things that they wouldn't have said to you. So that's really cool. And then they're accountable because now it's in black and white. You need to do this.
That's it. Yeah, it's written down. Once it's written down, it's there.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so thanks again for being on the show. Again, that was Richard Eckley of Eckley Global Community School. So thanks for listening to Successful Minds with Patty B. Never miss an episode by subscribing to the show. So thank you again.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I've loved every minute.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Successful Minds with your host, Patricia Baronowski-Schneider. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.